Hey, g'day, guys. Oops, that's enough out of you guys. Happy Valentine's Day, my precious little princesses. Thank you all for being here. It's always a lot of fun, and I hope tonight will be no different. I thought that was a good job. I'm a bit of an All-American Rejects fan. I like that song, but the little secret, I think it summed up what we're going to do here tonight with Lorne and his chat log. And it just coincidentally, like I've always loved that film clip, like how everyone's holding up the cards with their kind of like their secrets and stuff like that. And because I always find that really interesting, like when can't remember what it's called now. I think it was Whisper, like before Whisper became some fucking dirty chat site for pedos to hit on kids. Like it used to just be like people just put their deep dark secrets and for people to read. And I think like anonymously, which I always think's interesting. Like I always think it's interesting what do people. But anyway, that's completely besides the point. And it's not even 3 or 4 minutes into the stream, and I've gone completely off topic. But thanks all for being here. I hope everyone's had a good Valentine's Day so far. Whether you're with someone, you want to be with some, or you're happy with yourself. I think that's all what Valentine's Day is about. So I hope whatever your situation is, it's been good. But what I am wanting to do now is kind of start the series of Lorne reads his chat log. So it's quite long. And so what I think I will do is I'll do it over several parts, and probably not even consecutively, because it's quite a lot, both in length and also just dealing with Lorne's bullshit in it. So I don't know if it would be enjoyable just to have kind of back-to-back-to-back streams of this. So maybe we'll do one now, but we might mix it up with some other stuff in between, and just come back to it as we go along. And when we get to the point in this whole saga where they find out about MySpace Molly, and obviously Debbie asks him about that, and then we go, obviously that flows into the MySpace Molly calls. I'm going to have a special guest on to do that one with me, but there'll be more information on that as it comes. So I think that's all I really wanted to say there at the top. Actually, no, one other thing. So throughout the dump, it's really hard to kind of piece together what are the bits where Lorne reads his chat log and that kind of thing. But Prince Cod has done a really good job. He's put together one whole video which kind of starts from the first call where they started talking about what he said in there and kind of leads into where they talk about it. So he's done a brilliant job. I wanted to ask his permission if I could use this for the stream, but I actually don't have him on Discord or Skype and that. So I have taken the liberty to use that for this purpose. And he's link to his channel is in the description, so please go check it out there, like and subscribe and all that kind of stuff, and I hope that's no issues there. Obviously, Prince Cord, if you're listening and you don't want me to use that, let me know, but you've done a fantastic job, so I'm borrowing it for that reason. Anyway, let's say g'day to everyone. G'day Killdeer, Mr. C, Spencer Silvera, Honorary Bogan, Winnie's boyfriend/husband. You're well. Cool, mate. That's good. And I enjoyed your stream just now, so well done there. Ghost of Tony Farmer. Pee-wee is great. Dr. Cassandra Elizabeth Vaughn, great to see you as always. DJ Payne 1, g'day, mate. Becca. Bog Moses Jones. Mandy S. The Time Machine. Asbury Brad. Dark Atheist. Hello to everyone. Fast Ravioli. You are really. Good to see you. Good and you lifestyle guru. Oh, that's fine. Thanks for being here, Good and Lifestyle. Even though you can't hang around for long, I really appreciate that. Sprinkle Cake, great to see you, Sprinkle Cake. Hope you're having a great day. Cornville Councillor, Amy Ramirez, g'day. Mootang, Andy E, Kathy Mack. It just did the thing where it just like went all weird on me again. Happy Valentine's Day, Kathy Mack. Majestic Felcor, Ghost Tony Farmer, I think I said. Scott Wood, Ricardo Mercedes, Coyote Lady 613, g'day to you. Who have I missed? I always miss someone. Rachel Lynn. Oh, your first Cornville stream on Valentine's Day. Well, thank you for making it here. I'm glad you're here. Buck Dancer. Camp Vogel, Flockness. Who else? Pepsi Tate. The Combat Mechanic, Witchert. Christine Spencer. Billy Batson, Chatchabate Billy. Riley O'Brien. Yes, this will be another blow to Lorne. Mistress Joya von Floofington, g'day to you. And Chipped Tooth Tony, that's a new name, I love it. I love it. And g'day VO Hoss, how are you, sir? Cool, I think I got everyone. As always, if I've missed you, shout at me. But let's crack into it, hey? So, where this starts is, it starts off kind of, Debbie is talking to Lorne about his crimes and that kind of stuff, and he's doing his usual, not my fault, that kind of thing, and so they kind of lead in from there. So we'll just jump straight into it, and before we do, I will whack on our stream image today, which was done by Winnie's boyfriend/husband, so thanks again for that. So Lorne's holding up his chat log, the Holy Lornography, and he's got that giddy smile that he had at the Sting House. So I do find that quite funny. He's very excited, obviously, to share this with us all. And g'day Cookie Whoopie Pie, Peter O'Keefe, Dustin Thomas. Thanks for being here, guys.
Hi.
Hi.
She hasn't called me yet. She called me back, but she had to go out and save a squirrel and dance fence and took the squirrel to the vet.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, I told her, I said, if people would do that in Maine, they'd shoot it.
Yeah.
Well, there's so many of them out there, they ruin houses. I don't shoot it because I don't have a gun and I don't shoot things anyway.
Right.
But
you're such a good guy, Lorne. Let's end it here. I don't think there's any point going on. I mean, he's just such a nice guy. He would never do anything wrong. G'day, Sad Face 09.
Let me go in the house. Wait. No neighbors hear anything I say.
House. And when I hear him talk like this, where he says like house and all that kind of stuff, I often wonder, is that a Maine thing? But it just must be kind of his part of Maine, because I listen to other people that I know are from Maine and they sound nothing like this. So it must just be like hillbilly Maine.
What were you doing outside?
Cutting up some wood.
Oh, okay.
Because it's chilly out here. So it's like 42 degrees right now.
Oh, 42.
In my house is like 54 or so.
Mm-hmm.
Cutting up some wood so I can get warm the house up.
Cool. Yeah, you're all out of breath. So that's
yeah.
That's that famous stamina he keeps telling us all about.
A few years ago, when I first got out.
Oh, g'day, Honest. Thanks for being here.
I get drunk and I call NBC. And I'd ask for the department. I'd ask for the department that Chris Hansen worked in. And I didn't leave very good messages.
So what did you say?
I don't know. I was drunk and pissed off, and I didn't say anything threatening.
Oh, bullshit. Bullshit, because when you're drunk and pissed off, that's all you do is threaten. And you've even admitted to it at another point about how you would leave messages saying that you want to organise a fight between you and Chris Hansen and you'd kick his ass. No, Lorne. G'day, C. Morgul and Kingpin.
That could get me in trouble, so. But I think I remember one. I think I said I wanted you and Xavier Von Erck set up a fight for me against you two in a ring and make it legal.
Ring. So that's not threatening, obviously. And g'day, Toad versus Remen.
Remember, I said that on one of them. There was probably like 3 or 4 that I left. Then whenever I think it was like after the 4th, 5th time that I did it, they made it so that my phone wouldn't. Whenever I call, my phone number would be blocked. So.
Wow, you annoy
Oh, so funny, so funny. And James Sanders, and also you Super J. G'day,
Everyone when
guys.
you're drunk, even NBC.
Yeah. Not not a very nice guy sometimes when I'm drunk.
All the time.
Well, I don't hate him anymore,
He does.
and
He wouldn't care, Lorne.
and
He
I'm
doesn't
glad that he
care.
was there, that someone was there, so it stopped
Hmm.
me from making a stupid move.
Yeah, I mean, now that he didn't do anything. I mean,
G'day, Crago.
he was part of a show that they were doing a story about this because it was a huge problem. Huge problem. And I don't think people understood, in particular parents and stuff, like how their kids were getting online, who they were talking to. I mean, if Kayla was real, her parents didn't know that you were talking to her the way that you were. They didn't know that you were coming over to their house. If that was a
Right.
real situation, that's very scary.
It would have
And
been very bad.
yeah, it would have been really bad. And, honestly, I don't think Chris, from what I had seen on the show, wasn't saying anything particularly bad. He was just asking questions. Basically, like, why are you here?
And as everyone says all the time, they could have done him so much worse. Like they actually painted him in the best light possible for him. Like I still remember, and as I've said before, I kind of got TCAP late. I think it takes a while for it to ship across the sea to us. Um, like he didn't he looked a bit goofy, but like you almost felt the slightest bit of empathy for him on To Catch a Predator because they really highlighted that all the lovey-dovey stuff, and you kind of thought, well, this guy, while it's still disgusting, he's really fallen in love with this. But then they left out all the really disgusting stuff. So it always makes me laugh when he carries on about how bad they did him. They could have done him so much worse.
Yeah, well, see, it's actually not quite so much Chris Hansen that I don't like. It's Perverted Justice that I don't like because I know what they do, and I know why.
Catch pedophiles. Yep, that's what they do, Lorne. That's how they caught you. Cornell Counsellor, do we have Cigarette Ash Wednesday in Lornography? Asking for a friend. Mate, I don't know, but I think that's a good idea. And Sprinkle Cake, I love this call and I love it when you stream. I hope you're having fun and feeling loved on Cuba's birthday. Oh, thank you, Sprinkle Cake. I love this call too. And look, that's lovely to hear that you love it when I stream. I always, yeah. I mean, I obviously love streaming and hanging out with you guys. So that's love. That's made my Valentine's Day, Sprinkle Cake.
They do it, but they don't do it for the right reasons. They don't have that stand. Those people in particular should not be doing that. There should only be law enforcement officers doing that. That's a vigilante group. They should not be doing it.
Well,
they're working in conjunction with law enforcement, and unfortunately, Lorne, there is so many of you disgusting pieces of shit out there that law enforcement can't do it all by themselves. That's why they work with Perverted Justice, okay? And g'day, Sheffrey, and Dan, he's our man. Thanks for being here, guys, and Harv 1991.
they didn't arrest.
What they do, yeah, but they do it the wrong way. They lure guys in that wouldn't normally do this stuff.
Okay, well, wait a minute. We're going to stop right there because if you look at your own situation with Kayla, she didn't lure you to do anything.
I know that was all me because of my frame of mind that I was in. But I never would have done anything like that before.
The frame of mind that you were in was that you were attracted to a 13-year-old girl and you wanted to go over and fuck her. We talked about this before. And like I said, I'm not going to let you go backwards because you're going backwards right now.
Well, I know exactly what you're saying.
Okay, so
I was going backwards a little bit.
Okay, so wait a minute.
I guess I'm just mad because
you're mad. You're mad at yourself. You should be mad at yourself. I mean, here's the way that I see it, Lorne, and there's a lot of different.
G'day, James Sanders and Anna O'Rourke. Oh, look, don't be sorry. TLI was one of my first loves too. There was a few that I came across at the same time. So yeah, TLI is great. Always happy to live in his shadow.
Different sting types of situations that are out there. So we can take the whole predator thing off the table, and we can look at something like a bait car, where the police department will put a car out on the street. They
Mutang, you should do a shoey or snorkel every time Lorne shifts blame. Mate, if I did that, I would be dead. Yes, so I could do that, but halfway through this stream, you'd probably just hear me hit the ground and never see me again.
will either leave it running, or they'll leave it unlocked with the keys inside, all kinds of stuff like that. They'll just leave it sitting there, and they'll see what happens. And 99% of the population is just going to walk right by. They're not going to care. But then you're going to have other people who are looking for that type of a situation to steal a car, and then they're going to take it. So they're not luring anyone. They're not in the same way that Perverted Justice wasn't luring anyone. They went into a chat room with the name of a young child and the persona of a young child, and then they let the magic happen. They let people like you come in and chat it up, and there were a lot of people there who disregarded her. Even if they said hello.
The magic happened, just like when you type in Lorne Armstrong into YouTube. Winnie's boyfriend/husband. Yeah, you didn't give him a neck, but he does. Like, Lorne actually looks good in this pic. So, if there's one criticism I have, you've actually done him a service he doesn't deserve. Like, he actually doesn't look too bad.
As soon as she said that she was 13, they bailed, because that was the right thing to do.
Yeah,
so they didn't lure you. Right, exactly. So
exactly, guys like Cassandra, Elizabeth Vaughn, and who else said it? Ghost Tony Farmer. Xavier's his powers of convincing is just something you can't say no to. So just be thankful that you've never come across Xavier, and he's wanted you to do something you didn't want to do, because you can't stop it.
I think the luring thing, that didn't happen. It didn't happen. All of the other people in that chat room that didn't talk to Kayla or Disney Girl or whoever else was there, they don't have a problem, because they didn't talk to her. They didn't have the conversation that you had. They didn't show up at her house. They didn't do anything. They said, she's 13. I'm out of here. No way.
I know I was wrong. There's no doubt about it.
And exactly as Debbie's saying, no one. Well, I mean, there was probably other pedos in there like him, but majority weren't talking to her because she was 13. And in one of the very first lines of the chat log, where he says, if no one's talking to you, sweetheart, I'll talk to you. Like, he obviously just saw her posting in there, because she didn't, when they started talking, she didn't say, oh, thank God no one's been talking to me, He obviously saw her in there, and then no one's replying, because everyone's like, that's bait. That's fucking bait. But Lorne just kind of skipped along going, oh, sweet, no one else is molesting her. I'll jump in here and do that for them.
They weren't wrong for being there.
But they're not right. They are not right on everything that they do.
What is it that they do that they're wrong about?
They go extra lengths to try to get guys to the house.
Sprinkle cake, it is from The Office. I actually didn't pick up on that at first, which I'm very, very disappointed about, because I pride myself on how much I love The Office. But that's right, really, Jim? On Cupid's birthday, and I do love it. I mean, I love the whole Jim and Pam stuff in there. I do love the cutaway scenes where they're doing stuff like that. Good stuff. I love that.
Like, what extra lengths were there?
Like, if you tell them no, they keep chatting.
When did you say no?
There's a few times in there that I said, no, you didn't read that.
Oh, okay, I'll go back.
And he even says, no, I don't want to go to jail. Like, okay, mate. G'day, Richard Johnson, and g'day, Cybersqueak. Thanks for being here. been loving your, well, for me, early morning streams. I know they're like, I think maybe afternoon or night for you. But yeah, great stuff. And congratulations to Cybersqueak on 500. She should have, everyone should be subscribing to Cybersqueak. She does really good stuff. Not just Lorne. She's been doing some fanfic stuff and also some really weird gay erotica this morning. Not weird because it's gay, but just kind of, it was like, I don't think I'm smart enough to understand what the author was saying, but it was like someone's own sentient asshole. It was very good.
And we can look at it together.
Oh,
I never
going
saw
back to
you
the
say
thing.
no. Well, we're going to, because you're basically exonerating yourself, and you're saying that they, wait a minute, and you're saying that they were the ones that kept pressing you. So I will be more than happy to look at the chat, and we're going to go through it together.
Oh God, I went through it with Winnie.
Did you go through? You went through the whole thing with her?
No, not the whole thing. I had enough. I couldn't stand it anymore.
Okay. Well, I mean, I don't need to.
Yeah, he went through it, and they laughed their way through it, the disgusting little shithead. G'day, Bella. Oh, I can never say your name right, and I'm so sorry for that. But is it like Barelica? Barelica 1? Lulu Bop 19, Michael Buck, Hot Rod in the house. G'day to you all.
Sit there and read all, 400 pages or whatever there were. It was a really fucking long. And quite frankly, Lorne, it was fucking boring as shit. Like if you were talking to a woman, so lame. I would have been out of there in 2 seconds. Like, are you anxious to touch my penis? I'd be like, you take
okay, I don't need a recap on that.
your fucking ass, because it's so stupid. So, but we're gonna look at this because you have it. Wait a minute.
I'm saying
Shut up. Shut up.
Yes, ma'am.
So you have it in your mind that you said no, and I want to find where you said no. Because if you
I told her right out straight that I would go to jail for it.
Yeah, but that's not saying no.
I said no. I would go. I'm quite sure I said no. I could wind up in jail for it.
We'll find it.
That is not saying no. No, saying I could wind up in jail for it is not saying no. It's articulating how much of a crime that you are doing, and then flying in the face of it. Making sure that everyone knows that you're fully aware of the consequences for your actions. That's not saying no.
And I think I said it more than once, I think.
I don't think you did. I highly doubt it, because all of it was, I love you, my precious little princess. Here's my dick. Do you want to see it again before I don't need a recap. So you're going to get a fucking recap if I want you to hear one.
Stop yelling.
I just love it when she yells at him. It's just amazing. And g'day, I was emotionally slutty.
You're going to hear it if I want you to hear it. I told you that I'm going to look at the chat, and I'm going to find where you said no. Got it?
Stop yelling, though. You don't need to yell at me.
Well, you need to shut the fuck up when I'm talking to you.
Hey, thanks for being here, Goes to Tony Farmer. Have a great rest of your day, and talk to you soon.
Well, I hear your voice when you talk. You don't need to yell.
You don't need to stutter and try to interrupt me. You need to stop making excuses. Stop making excuses.
I'm not making excuses.
You are too. You're saying that they were there for the wrong reason, that they were luring you in.
They were there for money. They were doing that shit for money. They got $100,000 per show.
Big fucking deal.
That's a lot of incentive.
Because it costs money to do shows, dickhead. Like, it wasn't like these people that a lot of them volunteer their time for the simple fact that they hate people like you and want them caught and want them away from children. They didn't sit down and go, what's our next big entrepreneurial quest? Oh, I know what we can do. We can go and catch pedophiles. That is just a thing to print money. Like, stop that bullshit. They got money to cover costs and their time to catch you and all of the dickheads like you.
You know what? They deserved it for having to look at your cock for a fucking month.
Boom.
They had to put a lot of work in, a lot of work, a lot of hours to sit there and talk to you. And that's just one person.
Do-do-do-do. G'day, mate. No need to be sorry. Glad you're here. And yes, adult stuff often gets in the way of me doing these streams, so I completely get that.
Okay, so now that this thing is done, why is it that they need to keep pressing it?
If you have a problem with them directly for whatever's happening after the fact, go right ahead and do whatever you need to do.
Okay, well, this is the thing. See, one letter that I got, it wasn't just one letter. There was several different letters. And I know goddamn well it was from Xavier Von Erck. One got sent to me. One got sent to my brother Roy. One to my brother Paul. And one to my mother. That's pretty fucking sick. These are some sick-ass fucking people on the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Some
yeah,
of the members
there are.
of Perverted Justice, they're not there for innocent reasons.
But okay, so
For
but
me
wait
to
a
protect
minute.
Just love how poetic it is. The well-known pedophile who stalked his potential victims on the internet tells us that there's a lot of fucked up people on the internet.
Every member of Perverted Justice, I won't do that.
How would you be protecting anybody?
You know, for the ones that were there for the actual reasons, yeah, I would protect them. But I know Xavier Von Erck is not one of them. He's the co-founder of the fucking thing.
Protect them from what, Lorne? G'day, Fly Guy FI.
Okay, but what does that have to do with anything about what you got caught with?
Just it's because it's 12 years later. Xavier Von Erck did his fucking job a long time ago. He needs to leave people alone. He's been sued so many times because he keeps harassing people.
Okay, well,
and not just people, they're family members too.
Okay, well, I don't.
G'day, Duplicarius, and I'm sure everyone knows this, but just in case you're really new to this whole rabbit hole, whatever we want to call this, Xavier Von Erck, while he was the founder of Perverted Justice, he hasn't done any of these things that Lorne carries on about how this is just all shit that's been put into his head by the catfish. Like it isn't the case. Oh, just in case you guys weren't aware.
Not the first.
I don't know anything about that. And quite frankly, I don't really care. I mean, if you need help with something after the fact, that's a separate item.
I care because it's my mom that's looking
that has nothing to do with
Thankfully,
what happened to you to get involved with what you got involved with.
And because he said this in one of the calls we listened to last stream as well, this just always makes me laugh. He's like, oh, it's my mum, they sent her a naked picture of me to my mum, how disgusting, all this kind of stuff, and I need to protect. Like, honestly, Lorne, looking at the totality of your life, that her getting sent a naked pic of your disgusting body would probably be one of the better things that could happen. Like, I mean, if she isn't already mortified by the fact that everyone that knows her knows that you're a disgusting fucking pedo, a naked pic of you is not going to do anything.
I know. I'm not.
To do. It has nothing
I'm
to do with it.
saying, I know that I was wrong. What I did was wrong.
Right.
I'm not trying to defend myself on that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pissed off as hell because these fucks don't stop their letter writing and all this bullshit. Any way that they can possibly get a hold of me to get me to call them and all this shit, and to send a fucking letter to my mom really pissed me right off.
Okay.
That went to the state police.
Good. What are they doing about
all
it?
That information.
He's probably most pissed off because she read that letter and didn't read nearly any of the letters that he sent her from jail. So it's probably just jealousy.
Well, they're still investigating. Every letter I bring in makes them do the investigating more. Thankfully, the letters have slowed down since I had the lawyer read the letter.
Well, that's good.
It's good. I still got that one letter. Somebody's still trying to fucking get me to call them like a bunch of fucking idiots. Do you see why I fucking break down and start fucking crying? Because I'm so fucking tired of this shit.
I understand.
I don't want these fucks contacting me.
I understand. Well, here's what I think. I think that when you were on the show, obviously you were shocked and you didn't know what to say, and you were kind of in a panic. So
Yeah,
I get
right.
that you wouldn't have come off that well. You wouldn't have been able to really think about how to respond to his questions. You just wanted to get out of there, I bet.
G'day, my name is 22 and I'm Adriana years old. Exactly right. He's not pissed off about all that. He's pissed off that they exposed him. And g'day, hopes for Lorne.
Yeah.
And so and then after the fact, you went to prison, you were gone for a while. And then when you came back, eventually you went on the internet and you created your own channel, which was a good idea, because then, you can kind of show, like, this is who I am, this is what I do. But the people who were...
me explaining
Yes, Pepsi Tate. Apparently, according to Chris Hansen's podcast, at least, they have been in communication about potentially having Lorne on. Because I pretty much, I mean, it's a good podcast. The Chris Hansen's podcast where he goes through, but I keep, every time the notification comes up for the new episode, I keep hoping it's Lorne, but I reckon he's holding off because he thinks that he might be able to get an interview with him. But I'll believe it when I see it, because obviously they're not going to have, like, Lorne would have terms about he'll only come on if basically it can be some kind of redemption thing, which obviously they're not going to agree to. So I can't see it happening, but it would be fucking amazing. And g'day, Cat G, great to see you.
Explaining shit that fucked me all up.
It really did. It really did. Because I would have to say that everyone knows the answer to the question of why did you go there? And you fabricated this whole story.
But that's not what I was thinking when they put out the question of why did I go there? Because all I could think was I just couldn't fucking think straight at the time.
I think what you were trying to do in answering that question was to try to minimize what happened. And again, try to separate yourself from everyone else who showed up there. Like, oh, no. I'm not, that's not me. I'm not that guy. And, the fact is we know that you were that guy. You were a predator. You were a monster. You were someone to be afraid of.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
It's really fucked up. And it's so...
Yeah, you could be right, Kathy Mack. But I think even if it was a big fat check, I think he would still have... Like, he would still want it to be done, so he's portrayed in the best light. I mean, I don't know how you can do that, but yeah, I mean, because... Yeah, actually, if they pay him enough, but then the question is, would they pay this idiot?
It was scary, because then it makes you think, okay, kids have their computers in their rooms. And, like, when you were talking to Kayla, you're like, get your dad to put a lock on your door so they don't come in.
Yeah, I know.
It just showed you how fucked, people can be, especially when they go on the internet and they think they can get away with anything. They think that no one's ever going to find out. And this is what happens.
Yeah.
So I can't speak for... Yeah, exactly. And I can't speak for every group. I don't know these people personally. I just know your situation. And I know that if they had fucked around, if they had, told you that she's 18 years old, and then you showed up to the house and she says that she's 13 and the cops run out and you get arrested, that's a different story.
Yeah, I know.
That, so the reason why... Right. And the reason why they go about things the way that they do is to make sure that when you go to court, there's no question there. They can see that all of the words came from you, and she just was saying, okay, that's it. She wasn't suggesting anything. She wasn't, there wasn't anything there. So it makes me really upset it makes me really upset, Lorne, when you again try to push it off on something, try to take away a little bit of the responsibility and put it somewhere else and say, well, they tried to lure me. I said no. And the reality is you never did. And I will go through that chat. I'm going to go through the entire thing.
Go through that chat.
I
the
will.
reality is, I know I did.
Yeah. Okay, great. Then I'm going to find it. Anyway, it makes me really upset. And that's why I start yelling. And that's why I get mad, because Lorne, it's like...
And this is such a stupid thing that he keeps going on about, that he said no. I mean, because he clearly didn't. We know that he didn't. But even if he did, what does it change anything? Because he ended up continually showing his penis to her, continually trying to get her to masturbate for him, and all that stuff. And at the end of the day, he still rocked up with his janky ass bracelet and his pack of condoms to molest her. So even if there was several instances of him genuinely saying no, I'm not talking about, oh, I could go to jail, precious, actually saying, no, I don't want this, you're too young, every time he went back, that undoes that. So if he had said that, and then he comes back the next day with his dick out, he shows up at the house, doesn't matter. You could have said it every day. You consciously made the decision to go back all the time. So it's just stupid. And someone came in there. G'day, Pink Puggins. Great to see you.
And this is the problem. This is the problem that you had originally when you're basically talking about... you're talking about, okay, I'm going to tell everybody how I got caught up in the sting.
And that's a good point, Pink Puggins. Going over the chat log twice, I just see how dedicated and how much he planned everything out to last detail. And he did. And that flies in the face of this whole, I was fucked up at the time and all this kind of stuff. Because if you were just fucked up at the time, you wouldn't have been doing all these steps. You wouldn't have been, delete your archives and all this kind of stuff. And he tries to make out that he was fucked up, he didn't really see anything. Well, if he didn't think there was anything wrong with it, and if he was just fucked up, he wouldn't have been making these plans to stop it. He would have just been happening. He would have rocked up at the house. Chris would have walked out, and he would have been like, yeah, I'm here to see my girlfriend. What of it, mate? Like, he's he doesn't even make sense in his own head.
Then you go into this long, drawn-out story about your brothers.
Hey, KY.
And your sister, and how you gave them money, they didn't give anything back to you. I think there was food that was supposed to be exchanged, and that never happened. And then you ended up in Nashville, and you were so disgusted by your family that, it put you in a bad state of mind. And therefore, had that not happened, you wouldn't have been in Nashville. You never would have been on the internet. And you would have lived happily ever after. And that's just not true.
Well, I've never met anybody who lived happily ever after.
Well, we're not talking about anyone. We're talking about you. And again, I'm not talking literally. I'm just saying, you wouldn't have gone to prison for this had it never happened. And so, I think that that's where people get infuriated. That's why so many accounts were made making fun of you. I would have to be willing to bet that the people who are subscribed to your channel are laughing. Like, look at this fucking clown. Like, he's actually thinking that we give a shit about his singing, that we give a shit about anything he has to say beyond the truth. He's going to give us this sad story about his family didn't make him some food because he gave them money. And so then he all of a sudden is, talking to a kid. And that never would have happened if they didn't do what they did. So as you can see, everyone, it's not my fault. And that's what you were trying to do. You're just trying to garner sympathy from people. And there isn't a single person, except for other people in your position, who really are going to be sympathetic to that.
I never would have been sympathetic with it either.
So, Perverted Justice, you can think whatever you want. The reality is, in your situation, they logged into that chat room and they sat there and you came to them. And then you stayed there. So you may have mentioned You may
Like
have
a dumbass,
mentioned,
I stayed there.
yeah, you may have mentioned I can go to jail, which would make sense because you knew that. You knew what you were doing, was illegal.
Yeah, but for some reason I still fucking stayed there, and I'm mad at myself for not understanding why I stayed there.
But
when
you
I
know
knew
why
it,
you
when I
stayed
knew it was
there.
wrong. I know, but I knew it was wrong, and I knew I didn't want to do it, and I still did it.
Lorne, I swear to Christ.
Don't get frustrated with me.
I'm getting frustrated with you because you did it again.
Don't get frustrated with me. I'm just making excuses like always.
I'm frustrated with myself because I knew it was wrong, and I knew I didn't want to go there, but I still went there.
Don't say I didn't want to go there. That is the problem.
And g'day, I drive truck for COD, and Wayne Tech 10, and Clown with a Knife, and Ellison K. G'day to all of you. Great to see you as always. And g'day Drive 137. No, Tiffany is not here. I mean, unless she's lurking in the background without chatting, but I don't believe she's here, so you can save your bananas for another time.
You wanted to go there, Lorne.
I didn't want to be that guy.
You were that guy. So you have to acknowledge it.
I just hate it. I know I have to acknowledge it, and then I know I wanted to go there.
Okay, so then why did you say you didn't want to?
Because I knew it was wrong.
But why are you saying you didn't want to?
Because I didn't want to be that guy to do that type of thing.
But you were that guy.
I know, and it bugs the living fuck out of me. I know you get frustrated with me. I understand why you get frustrated with me.
Okay, so think of me as.
But I've been frustrated with myself for 12 years.
Think of me as the public, and this is the reaction that you're going to get. This is the reaction that you have been getting. That's the reason why. If you look at the comments on your videos, how many times are they just things from your chat log that they're putting back to you?
I know.
Oh, happy birthday to Ellison K's cat. Shares his birthday with Cupid's birthday. How about some cats in the chat for Ellison K's cat's birthday?
It makes me fucking sick. The whole fucking chat log.
Yeah.
I sat there and deal, and I read through the whole fucking thing, trying to find places that I said no.
And it never happened.
Yes, yeah.
It never happened, Lorne. Okay, hang on a second. I'm gonna see. Let's see here. I am at my desk. So.
Do you have the chat log right in front of you?
No.
Thank God.
But I will in a second.
Oh, God.
All right.
Do you have a file on your computer that says Lorne?
I don't. Absolutely not.
You fucking idiot. Like, do you have a file on your computer that says Lorne? Like, if she did, it would be with all the incriminating bullshit and all the phone calls from you on there. But if you listen to his tone of voice, he thinks that would be really sweet, as if she would have some kind of folder on him with fucking, I don't know, all of the clip art she's done with love hearts around him or some shit. Like, you're such a fucking idiot. Like, take away all of the illegalities and all of the moral issues with you. Even at your core, you're just a fucking dickhead.
It was going to scare me if you did.
No, absolutely not. All right, let's see. So what is it that you think that you said?
That I could go to jail.
All right, let's look up jail. All right. This is going to be cool.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
So
I bet you it's going to be. All right, let's see. All right. I'm going to read to you the times when you said jail, okay?
Okay.
Okay. You have another 5 years of school. and you're going to go through a lot of changes. If I had you right close to me, then I would
Oh,
stay.
God.
Shut up. Then I would still stay. I would still say the same thing. But this is why I wish you were 18. Then you could come. Then I could come get you, and we could get married. But where you're 13, the only thing that could happen is I would end up in jail, and I know you don't want that to happen. Let's make
Oh, well, there he has it. He said no. So I take it all back, Lorne.
sure we put it on the kid. That's a good idea. All right. And then she said, jail, what? And then it's
And g'day, I drive truck for COD. I can't remember if I said hello to you. G'day, Richard McCoy. And sorry if I missed anyone else that came in. Lethal Brownie, g'day. And Joel Davis.
says, well, you're under 18 years old. If I did anything with you and someone found out about it, I could end up in jail. She said, why? I don't understand. Because the legal age for me to do anything with a girl is 18. You're not 18 yet. If I did anything with you right now and someone found out about it, the cops would put me in jail because you're not 18 yet. That's why it's not a good idea for me to be in love with you right now. And it sucks because I think
Oh, God.
I am in love with you.
All right. Fucking idiot.
And then it says, okay, so say I went on a date with you, then you would go to jail? Yes, because I'm 37 years old and you're 13 years old. She's like, that's dumb. And she says, I know it is, because two people can't help it when they care about each other as much as we do. Shut up. But
I don't want to hear that.
But I don't want to go to jail. And I know you don't want me to either. Let's put it on the kid again.
I knew you were going to say that.
And then she says, no, I don't want you to go to jail. I would cry. Let's find the other one. Shall we?
No, I'd rather not.
All right. So then a couple days later, let's see.
And so I think they skipped to another section, but this is up until this point. This has been his big kind of. This is where I said no. This is kind of his what's the word? His loophole. This is where I said no. I talked about jail and that. So just recapping, he said that he could. So basically, he laid out, why what he is doing is wrong. He laid out that, because of the age difference, because it's illegal. He laid out what the punishment will be for what he's doing it. And then he went on to say, that was the extent of him saying no, basically just saying that I am fully aware of how shit what I am doing to you is. And then she didn't say it there because she skipped ahead, but he then goes on to say, but I'm not going to let that stop me. So his version of saying no is basically saying, I'm fully aware of everything here, but hey, I'm going to come and fuck you anyway. So, well done, Lorne. You've really baffled everyone right there. And a few people came in while I was having my rant there. So g'day, Ramona's Diaper. Puss and Breets. 80s Girl. G'day, 80s Girl. Great to see you. And the Lorne Identity. Always a pleasure to see you. I loved your 6 hours the other night, and I will no doubt listen to it again.
Doofy, watch out. Watch out.
It said, I'm going to find a good place to start. Oh, okay. This is the part where you wanted to give out your phone number, but you wouldn't put it on Yahoo.
I must really like you to say hello to you twice. I drive for COD. Now, while this is going on too, so I'm going to put up a bit of a slideshow, and I can't remember their actual name, but in the Discord, Highwayman, I think his name is, put together a whole heap of little Valentine's teacup themed Valentine's Day cards, which I absolutely loved. So I'm just going to have those kind of cycle through while we listen to this.
Because if the Yahoo police were there, then you could get in trouble. So you said, she said, I want to talk about when are we going to be able to see each other. I do too, but we can't talk about that in here, remember? That's why I need you to use my PN, like as soon as you possibly can. And then she said, geez, my parents are here at night most of the time. I don't know why we can't talk about it in here. That's silly. And then you said, would you rather see me in jail? LOL. She goes, no.
It was a Highway Lighthouse did these, and he did say he or she, sorry, did say they didn't want any credit. But you can't tell me what to do, so thank you.
And then you say, okay then, LOL. Then she says, how are you going to go to jail by talking on here? And then you say, go onto MySpace, and I sent you an invite to download MySpace IM. So do that, and we'll talk about it on there some. Okay, so you wanted to talk on MySpace. Oh, you said, you certainly don't want to tell them you're looking at your boyfriend's penis, LOL. Oh, this is the part where you're talking about the lock on their door.
Yes, thank you, Good and You Lifestyle. Highway Lighthouse 64, and they are very funny. I don't know if I would recommend anyone sending these cards to a potential love interest, but hey, they're there, and the Highway Lighthouse has said he's happy for anyone to use them. So And g'day, Edamame.
No, the lock on her door.
All right. Okay. Well, we don't have to keep recapping now.
No, we do.
You're burying too much into recapping it.
And then it's going to say...
It pisses me off. I don't need to recap it constantly.
And then it's going to say...
Oh, Lorne, it pisses you off. I'm so sorry.
Well, you wanted me to look at this because this is where you're going to say no. So I'm just pointing this out where you say no. And then you said... You also don't want to be telling them that you and your boyfriend are planning to stick his penis in your vagina while they're gone for 4 days. LOL, shut up!
You're not reading the part about the jail. You're reading something that it doesn't have to do with the jail.
I'm getting there. Shut up. And then she said, LOL, yeah, I think they would flip out. Then you said, yeah, a lot, LOL, and I'd end up in jail. Let's see another jail part. Let's see. Actually, that is all that you mentioned about jail. See if is there anything else that you want me to look up? What about?
No.
Why?
I don't need to keep recapping the conversation.
Why? I want
because I've recapped it for 12 years.
But I'm trying to help you where you said no. I'm trying to help you find it.
She's just trying to help you, Lorne. That's all she wants to do.
Let's not.
G'day, Matt Ryan.
Is it because it's not there?
Maybe it's not. I remember mentioning jail, that I would go to jail.
Right. And you would say LOL after that because you didn't think you would.
And you're
LOL.
trying to thrash me again with words.
I could go to jail, precious. LOL.
No, I'm just saying what you said.
No, you're trying to get in punches. I know what you're doing.
Punches? Why would I want to punch you?
Yeah, gee, I wonder.
I would never do that. I don't want to break a nail. Because I think I would probably hit you really fucking hard.
Probably. You probably won't do anyway.
Yeah, I know. We looked at this a little bit and you never said no.
Anyway.
So now you know why people get pissed off. This is exactly the kind of reaction.
Oh, absolutely, Sprinkle Cake. So these will actually just keep cycling through. There's about 20 of them, but I might just up the time that they stay there so everyone can get a good look when they come up, huh?
That you would get with really anybody.
G'day, Shins. More crap for put downs. Another blow to Lorne. You got to get in your punches.
You can't deny what's there. You just can't.
I don't deny that I did wrong anyway.
You're trying to. It's the whole point.
I'm not trying to. I'm not trying to deny that what I did was wrong.
What are you trying to do then?
I don't really know now. I know I was wrong. And nobody drove me there. I drove myself there. Nobody put my fingers on the keyboard. I did it.
Nobody took you.
Oh, so it wasn't unintentional travel after all, Lorne.
Your dick out and stroked it for a 13-year-old, right? Nobody did that either.
I know you don't want me to miss a lick.
No, absolutely not.
I try to forget things that I've done.
You can't.
No, I can't. It's hard enough for me to forget them.
Right.
I don't need.
So don't
I don't
try.
need people to keep pressing it in my brain.
Nobody's pressing it. It's already there, Lorne.
No,
And it's
people
in
just
my
try to
brain
get
too.
that.
That's why it's so frustrating to me.
Well, let it be frustrating. Doesn't mean that you have to punch me every time I turn around with this shit.
I'm not punching you.
Or every time you think you have got to get them words in that I said in that conversation.
I'm
You
trying
don't
to
need
help
to.
you.
I know what was.
I'm trying
I'm
to
the one
help
that typed the damn thing. I know what's there.
Well, you obviously don't because you're saying that you said no.
Maybe because I'm trying to intentionally forget things.
Yeah, you're trying to forget and avoid.
No, I'm not. There's no way that I can avoid it.
You're trying
I'm just
to.
trying to forget things that I said.
And that's why
I
you
hate.
made the
I hate being that guy that said that shit.
right, but you are that guy, Lorne, is what I'm telling you. And
I
until
was that
you
guy.
can
I'm not that guy anymore.
until you can actually acknowledge it, until that happens, and you continuously go back, I know I didn't want to go there. Whenever you do that, you're going to get the same reaction, the same one. That's why people go fucking crazy over that video when you're crying about food and your family and like, well, what does this have to do with you doing what you did? It has nothing to do with it. It has everything to do with the fantasy that you had. Period. I know that you hate it. I know that you know that it was really fucked up, but it doesn't diminish it. It's something that you're going to have to deal with forever.
It's not easy to deal with it.
I know that it isn't.
It's not easy dealing with the fact that I'm the guy that said that fucked up shit.
I know.
When they say there's little fucking shit that they say and get their little fucking kicks in, they think I should be all fucking lighthearted about it, and I'm not lighthearted about it. It pisses me off.
No, they're not expecting you to be
I deal with it
lighthearted
enough
about
on my own. I deal with it enough on my own. I don't need people to try to get kicks in that.
They're not expecting you to be lighthearted about it. They're really not. They know the reaction that they're going to get.
And you know what the fucked up thing is? A lot of those guys on there, I guarantee you go look in their fucking background, I guarantee you'll find things that they've done probably worse than I did.
Shut up.
No, we're not going to go there.
Shut up, dickhead. G'day, official CG79, and thanks very much. That's lovely. And BusyGoon06, not a prince, but a duke. G'day.
Oh, yeah, I am.
We're not. Why? Because again, you're trying to.
Xavier Von Erck was after a fucking little girl.
I don't fucking care. I don't know anything about him.
He's the co-founder of Perverted Justice.
I don't know anything about him. I don't care.
Maybe that's one reason I'm so pissed off about Perverted Justice, because I knew what Xavier Von Erck was.
Then go after him.
How? How the fuck can I do that?
I don't know.
Can't do that.
Okay.
Do the same thing.
But what you're doing is you're saying, I know what I did was messed up, but this person is messed up too, and that's where you're subtracting.
Between Lorne and these Valentine's Day cards, I just can't keep it together. And g'day, Chloe Dubois.
That's where you're subtracting your responsibility. Yeah. So that's what needs to stop. They're totally different. They are separate. So if you want to go after him, great. But you have to separate that from yourself. You can't point at him and say, Xavier, you're a fucking scumbag because you went after a little girl, when you should be pointing the finger at yourself.
I know, it just pisses me off. I'm mad at myself for doing something that I knew was wrong. Then I got to turn around and look at a guy that was involved in catching me doing something wrong when I know that he's done it.
Yeah.
But I mean, just because someone else does something wrong, I mean, and Xavier hasn't, as we discussed before, like, it doesn't change what you've done. Like, it's just so stupid. And as always, you're not mad because you did it. You're mad because you got caught. If this wasn't this thing and you rocked up and you ruined Kayla's life, you would have skipped out of there, and you probably would have kept trying to do stuff with her until she eventually told you to fuck off, or you would have just skipped off to the next kid that you were going to fucking destroy. Like, just no.
That's what pisses me off.
What proof do you have that he did it, first of all?
Emma was the one that found it. Something she found on Tinder.
Okay.
And I know I don't need to concentrate on him. I know it just hurts me worse when I think about that shit when I get my own shit to deal with. It's just
Yeah, Shins Koala. Every time I see that dude, the baby steps guy, I can't remember his name. That's exactly the quote I hear is "Oh, Chris, this is gonna ruin me." So funny.
I mean, in all honesty, it could be someone who created a profile named Xavier Von Erck, and it didn't have to be him.
I don't think it was. I think it. Because
He's actually very quotable. That guy. He's got a lot of them.
Well, how would you know? I mean, people.
I can't. We'll have to ask Emma to remember, because I can't remember exactly what it was that she read.
Okay. Well, I mean, the thing is that people have probably made profiles with your name too.
Oh yeah, I know they have.
So it's the same thing. Why would it be different for him?
I can't remember. I can't remember if Emma said it was.
You can't what?
I can't remember if Emma said there was a picture of him or something like that. Or the lady was telling who it was or something. Showed a picture of him or something like that.
Okay, I don't know. I mean, people have pictures.
I can't remember. We'll have to ask Emma, because she's the one that was reading it.
Okay.
She read it to me, but I can't remember everything that she read.
Okay. Well, maybe she'll remember. Maybe she won't.
But I know I need to stop concentrating on them. Just concentrate on me.
Concentrate on you. Absolutely.
I'm sorry I get frustrated. I'm sorry that you get frustrated with me.
I hope that at some point I'm not going to have to. Like, I hope that that's not the reaction that I have. That's what I'm hopeful for, because, I want us to have productive conversation. And I know when I get mad, you are going to get frustrated too, or you're going to get upset. And sometimes it gets the best of me, because, when someone is trying to back themselves up with, information about other people, and trying to make it, they try to create a smokescreen as if that's where the focus should be, when it's in order to take it off of themselves. It's total deflection.
Try to put it off on other people like it was someone else's fault. And that's not at all what I'm trying to do, because I know what I did was wrong, and I know it was my fault that I did it.
Yeah, I mean, I
think just some of the people that are involved with it is what irritates me. You know that Winnie talked to Xavier, don't you?
No, I don't.
When her and I first met, Winnie actually presented herself as case to me, and it was because of Xavier Von Erck. Xavier was telling her things to say. Winnie, he actually, I guess he made some threat or something against Rhoda. And when he was trying to...
G'day, Patrick Mordeb, 70 years old. You probably are the oldest in the stream, but you never know.
I make sure that he stayed away from Rhoda. And he even made Winnie watch him on...
Thank you, Drive 137. That's his name, Eugene Daly. I've got to do a stream on him. He is fucking hilarious. Awful and disgusting, but hilarious.
Cam jerking off to a picture of me. That's what Winnie told me. That's fucked up.
Yeah, that is fucked up. I mean, but she was also on drugs. So.
Yeah, I know, but I'm only going by what Winnie said.
Okay.
But I mean, she was in some house in California. Evidently, it was a really nice house because Emma went there and she went out to the concert with Winnie and I don't know who else. But they photoshopped Casey's face on Winnie's body, I guess, and so they could show me and all this shit. That was fucked up. That was so fucked up.
Yeah.
That lasted for like 3 months.
Oh, did it really? You thought that?
Yeah.
So Casey was the one who...
Just once again, amazing. So he's talking about when he was catfished, apparently by Casey, and they photoshopped her head onto Winnie's body, and that he is literally talking to the same fucking person who did that voice, who isn't using a voice changer, and he can't get it. Fucking dumb.
was talking to you on the phone?
Because Winnie had her name on the internet. I had a message on my YouTube channel. My headset just went off. Can you hear me?
Yeah, a little bit, but it really sucks.
Okay. Can I call you back in, like...
Well, it's okay right now. Just make sure that you stay like
stand
that.
still?
Yeah, stand still. Uh-huh. Put your leg up in the air. Make sure you've got good reception. Whatever you have to do.
Okay. Hang on.
All right.
Put my headset on so I can charge it.
Okay.
I just came to give you this
Bad
card.
I know what.
Oh, you heard me? I didn't know you would hear me.
Yeah, I heard you. Call me a dumbass. Good to you. Winnie had a message on my YouTube channel for me.
No one can hear you, dickhead.
She went on
I mean, who the fuck knows what you're talking about right now? I can't even hear you.
You can't. Stay in the same position I was in.
Did you stick your phone up your ass? Oh.
Can you hear me now?
Well, sort of. God, it sucks.
I know. That's why I can leave my phone in one spot and have my headset on and move around.
Oh my God.
Can you hear me now?
Jeez. No.
Oh, great.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, radius, I can stay in this position.
Stay right there.
Okay, Roscoe, don't move. You stay right there. Your collar is helping.
Ah, there we go. Cool.
Okay. Winnie put a message on my YouTube channel, and Emma Emma would read the messages for me that was on my channel because I couldn't, they had already taken my computer, didn't want me on YouTube.
Okay.
And Emma read that message, which AKA was Winnie.
Okay.
And that's when I started talking to Winnie.
Okay.
Because she fooled Winnie, she fooled Emma for those 3 months until Emma found out.
Okay.
And
Gotcha.
because Winnie was in the hospital, and
I see.
that's how the whole thing started. And that was because of Xavier Varner, because Xavier held something against Winnie that had to do with Rhoda, that he put Rhoda's name on the internet or something like that.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
So, and so that you don't hate Emma too much, Emma saved Winnie's ass a lot of times. She literally saved her ass a lot of times.
I don't think I ever said that I hated Emma.
Well, no, you didn't say that you hate Emma, but before you dislike her too much, she saved Winnie's ass a lot of times. Just because she's Mexican. You remember you said a wetback?
Me?
Yeah, you just said it the night before last.
No, I was saying that Winnie called her that.
Oh, yeah, I know. I know Winnie called her that. She did that all the time.
Yeah, but I would never say that. I don't think that about her at all.
Well, Winnie got better at it, though. After a while, she stopped calling her wetback, and she started just calling her a bitch.
Well, that's better.
She graduated.
Oh, man. Well, when Winnie calls you a bitch, that's actually kind of a good thing. She called me bitch all the time. That means that she loves you.
Well, she must really love me. Every time I turned around, she was calling me bitch.
Yeah.
I was like, Jesus.
That's what she called you to me too.
I told her, you do realize I have a name, right? She said, I know, bitch, shut up.
Right,
So
exactly. Yeah, so I don't hate Emma. I think Emma's really smart. She's super pretty, and I don't have any problem with her. I know that she's done a lot for my sister. She is not an easy person to deal with. So, the fact that Winnie is still alive.
Yeah, Sprinkle Cake. I think he's trying to say that, like, I'm assuming on the dog's collar is like, a little metal tag or whatever. I think he's trying to say that this, is improving the signal. But you're right, it's just a stupid fucking joke. It's like any time Lorne actually tries to be funny, it usually doesn't make sense. It's not funny. He's only funny unintentionally.
Live is a really great thing, and Dan's pretty good too. I mean,
The perfect day to be raped.
Dan's really good at winning.
He's not my favorite. So.
He's not your favorite.
No.
So I heard.
Yeah, yeah. I know, sorry. I know you're friends with him and everything, but he's kind of an asshole.
Well, I understand. Just because I'm friends with him doesn't mean that everybody likes him.
Yeah, I know.
It's a what?
He's always wearing a tool belt. It's always a different color, kind of weird.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He wasn't wearing a tool belt when him and Emma came here that night.
Oh, I'm surprised. You probably didn't finish bedazzling it.
Does he really bedazzle it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. He's the rhinestone cowboy.
I'd like to be a smartass at some point. Then bedazzle me.
Yeah, he'll bedazzle anything that you want. Seriously.
No, I'm okay.
Yeah, I hate the giddy bits too, Shins Koala, and I can't look at that that card of fucking Jeff Stacey without hearing his voice. It's a question.
Oh, okay.
I'd rather be dazzled than other ways.
Do you want to be my Valentine? It's a question. And thanks for being here, good and you. And happy Valentine's Day. I hope it goes well for the rest of it for you.
Well, he'll bedazzle you in other ways too, I bet. Wink, wink. Hey, do you want to take the phone out of your ass again? Oh my God. Is your headset all set?
Probably. It might be for.
I mean, this is torture.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Jeez.
Yeah, now I can move around again. I don't know how much.
Okay.
I think it's probably like 2 hours time on it.
Okay, well, we don't need that much.
When it turns blue, it's usually 2 hours.
Okay, good. Anyways.
Yeah. Anyway, bedazzle me.
So. No, I don't do that. That's Dan's thing. I'm not that tacky.
No, you can bedazzle me different ways.
No thanks.
Yeah.
So.
No means no, Lorne. I know that's a foreign concept for you, but
Well,
no
they're not even verbal punching backs either.
No, they're not.
And I feel like that's something that you need to learn too, because I don't think you know that very well.
Well, I know it. I've messed up on it a few times because I've gotten too stupid getting drunk and taking my frustration out on other people. And what really sucks is I never used to be like that. When I used to drink, I drink social. But when I go over to Tony's, I don't drink social. I drink social, but I try to keep up with him, and that I know that can never happen because he drinks like almost 3 to my 1.
Mm-hmm.
G'day, Harlan.
And it's just such a stupid move going over there. Enjoyed going over to Tony's because it would be just like I would be able to go over and drink with Dad. Because that's all Dad would do was just sit there and he drank. Where Dad would actually play the guitar. All Tony does is drink and smoke pot.
Okay.
So finally I figured that out. So it's not so hard for me to not go over to Tony's now.
Well, there's other things that go along with it too. I mean, as far as Tony is using you for beer.
Yeah.
And
Dad used to do that.
And you end up getting into arguments with him and Wendy. You're not really welcome in their home. They just let you go there because you're bringing something to them.
Yep.
And then, and then it's time to go. So they throw you out and you drive home, risking your life and everyone else's that's out there while they stay home.
Yeah, nice and safe. Waiting
Nice
for the
and
next
safe,
walk back.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
sad.
So there's other things that go along with that too, of why that's not a healthy place for you to go.
Yeah, because they just don't give a fuck.
Doesn't seem that way.
They say they're friends, but they're only friends for a price.
Right.
That's what it's been like.
Yeah.
Sucks too, because they're not friends that I want.
Right. Well, good. So.
G'day, May / Josh S. Thanks for being here. Sorry, I just find that really funny that your daughter changed your YouTube name and you can't figure out how to fix it. That's pretty cool.
So you've come to these decisions, which is great. You know, you're seeing that this isn't a good thing for you to do, and hopefully you won't do it again.
No, I won't do it again. I'm not going to be that stupid anymore.
That's good. That's really good.
So even though you've gotten really mad and frustrated at me, I do learn. Sometimes it takes a few smacks, but
I think you know that
it takes more than a few, Lorne.
Is not a good idea. And I think that's why after you're getting drunk, that's when you start to get mad, because you're not able to really fool yourself anymore. Because when you get intoxicated, that's where your inhibitions will start to go away. And the wall that you've been putting up in avoiding how you're really feeling is going away. And then you start to get angry. And that's why you start to lash out at people. You've done it to me. And I didn't do anything. So, you're feeling lonely, and you're feeling like you're getting fucked with all the time, and you're feeling like nobody legitimately wants to spend time with you. And that makes you mad. And so you start calling up everyone and basically telling them that they're assholes because they don't want to hang out with you, or they're off doing something else. They're not giving you all their time and
And Josh S, yeah, so you just go up to click on your little profile pick up in the right, and I think it's account settings or something there, and you just change it there. So yeah, sorry for laughing. It just was funny.
Attention.
It sucks. It sucks so bad, because I never used to. It used to take me an hour to drink a beer.
Well,
and I would make it take me an hour to drink a beer because I didn't want to get drunk.
Right.
Bullshit.
But now you do, because there's a lot of stuff that you're trying to avoid from feeling. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the most unproductive way of doing it.
Yeah, I know.
And I think that's why that's kind of why people, I think, sometimes get involved in taking drugs, like Winnie. There's something in their life that they want to avoid, and they get introduced to something, and it takes the pain away.
Yeah, she told me how bad her childhood was.
Yeah. And so there's other ways of going about it. That's the thing.
Uh-oh, mate, that doesn't sound good. It sounds like she's already going down the Lorne rabbit hole. Just reminded me of something like a year or two ago. I didn't realize that my the YouTube account that I was using, this is before I had a channel, I didn't realize that I was also signed into that on my kids' iPads, And one day I was just watching a Lorne video, and one of my eldest kid came up and said, "Oh, that man's very, very rude. He swears a lot." I was like, "Oh shit." Felt like the worst dad in the world. So yeah, I made sure that there was no Lorne on their YouTubes anymore. Apparently they didn't see too much of it. I'm guessing they probably just heard it's just gone over to one of his videos where he's screaming and yelling and that, and they thought, no, fuck that.
And unfortunately, sometimes people have addictive personalities too, and they're just going to pick up one thing after another after another. And as soon as they're able to avoid whatever it is they're trying to, and it makes them feel better, then they're hooked. Not only physically, because that'll happen too, but emotionally. They need to feel that. That's why when you're upset about something, you want to start drinking. And for some people, it's eating. There's a bunch of things that people do to make themselves feel better, and sometimes it's destructive.
Well, see, maybe that's part of it with Tony and Wendy, because Tony does have an addictive personality. Because he's a good guy to be around. He's friendly and he's fun to be around. But the problem is that he uses people.
Well, then he's not a good person to be around.
No, he's not a good person to be around. I mean, as far as he's a fun person to be around, he can be fun.
Right.
And happy. And of course he's happy. Everybody's fucking bringing him beer and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So that boy's going to die an early death, but more than likely.
Well, hopefully not.
Eat some drinks.
Hopefully not.
I don't...
Well, no, that is the thing, Shins. Actually, not long after that, I was just watching the TV, and Justin Timberlake's song was on, and my son came up and said, "Oh, that's that rude man again." He sings a lot better than he does on his other things we're watching.
Don't wish death on him.
Right.
I just know how he eats and drinks.
Okay.
And smokes.
So, have you thought about talking to Tony?
Edamame. Well, isn't it fucking cunning?
And telling him this?
No, because he already knows how I feel. I tell him every time I've gotten drunk, I'd come back in and he'd be one of the ones that I'd lash out at. He'd be one of the first ones I'd lash out at.
So then what is his response to that?
Oh, he just tries to calm me down.
He just tries calming you down?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I calm down after I say everything that I want to say to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I just don't talk to him until a couple of days later. I don't care to do that anymore. I don't care to go over and drink with him. I don't really care. I'll have something to do with him. If he wants to come over here and visit me, I don't want to go over his house. I don't like Wendy. I haven't liked her for so long, as I can't even remember when I stopped liking her.
Okay.
Who cares?
She probably doesn't like you either.
Probably not. Unless
Right.
I throw a whoopie pie and a Pepsi in front of her.
Yeah.
She's real happy. She's real happy with a big whoopie pie in front of her.
Okay.
So what now? Yeah, you're just fat shaming her, are you? Like, I mean, he doesn't get it. Like, who cares if they just like to sit and eat and drink there? It's their fucking house.
No, you think I'm kidding? I'm serious.
No, that's fine. I mean, whatever.
She's got a thing for whoopie pies.
Okay.
That's something she definitely needs to
Meh. G'day, Tiffany. Great to see you here.
stay away from, because she kind of looks like one.
Okay.
Sad.
What kind of pie do you look like?
I look like a blueberry pie.
Why?
Perfect.
Perfect.
Blueberry pies are perfect. Okay, I'm far from perfect, but...
Yeah, exactly.
That's a fucking understatement.
Exactly. I was going to just stop you right there.
You look like a blueberry pie to me.
You don't even know what I look like.
I know what your body looks like. That looks like a blueberry pie. And that's not my fault that I don't know what you look like, 'cause you still haven't sent me a picture.
Right.
Right.
And you also deleted the other picture, didn't you? Or did you lie about that?
I did. I didn't lie to you.
Okay.
I told you, I must respect you because I actually deleted it.
Okay.
If you were naked, I would. If you were
He didn't delete it. He just put it on private. That's what you do, right, Joran?
naked, and I would have deleted it right after I saw it. But you weren't naked. You had clothes on.
Right.
I mean, certain spots were emphasized, but
Anyway,
I did delete it. I did delete it.
Good, great. Okay, so
Good, great.
I think we kind of got off track there, but my main point of what I was talking to you about was you have to do it in a completely different way.
I know. Well,
and it's going to be
why
hard
don't
to
you-
do. It's going to be
G'day, Jeff W.
really, really hard to do. But
Yeah.
you can start to say, I realized that I was wrong. I deserve to be on that show. I deserve to be sent to prison.
And I'm certainly not going to say that I didn't deserve it because I asked for it. So I did deserve it.
Yeah.
As much as I hate to think of me being in that position, I did it, and I did deserve it.
You didn't want to get caught. I mean, that was the thing. You wouldn't have shown up if you thought that you were going to get caught.
Yeah. Sucks I've done that. That's what I wanted in my life.
Yeah, it really
now,
sucks. Okay.
I'm outside now, so you get really good reception.
Okay, good. And I don't have to hear your stupid TV.
All you need to do is tell me turn it down. I forget that thing is even on because anybody that I talk to on there always asks me if I can turn it down.
Okay. I'll have to remember that. It's really annoying.
That's what everybody says. And I don't even think about it because it's in the background.
I think there was at one point on the last time that I was talking to you, and I think that you were upset, maybe crying or something. And there was a moment of silence, and I heard the Old Spice whistle go off in the background.
Did you think that I hung up until you heard that Old Spice whistle?
No. It was like a moment. It was a brief moment. It was like perfectly timed. And
I would never hang up on you. If I hang up on you, it's a
just
fun.
heard that whistle in the back, and it was really funny. But I didn't start laughing.
Jesus.
But yeah, so you can kind of change stuff. You can change the direction that you've gone in. You're going to be giving a response that people have been waiting for all of this time. They're going to be able to look past the stupid videos that you've made, basically calling everyone else out for being a fucking loser. All that kind of stuff, but
I hated that I keep getting so mad about perverted justice. I really hated that I do that. I think
then stop fucking
it's just
doing
looking
it.
back on everything. It's still so upsetting for me that I got involved in it.
Well, it's a defensive thing that you're doing. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why, when you were confronted on the show and when everyone was confronted on the show, for the most part, it was, you can see like the eyes darting, like, oh my God, what am I going to say? How can I minimize this and make it so that what I was doing is going to come off as being okay? Like when you were saying the other day about, I went there because I wanted to make sure she wasn't going to get hurt by someone.
Yeah.
I mean, do you know how hard I could have possibly rolled my eyes when you said that? They almost got stuck.
Imagine.
I almost was blind. I would never see again. They'd be stuck there. So, I mean, it's
imagine.
Like, yeah, it's like that kind of stuff. Or when you've said like, I was looking for a place to turn around and I got to the exit and there was her house. I'm like, okay, well, that's stupid too. I mean, none of that stuff ever happened. And so all that you can do really is just tell the truth about stuff. And
G'day, Oreo Pudding and Lorne's sister's monkled leg. And I love how he's just laughing along here. Like, Debbie's just giving him all these facts that he has denied and bullshitted about for all this time, and he's just laughing along. We have such fun, Debbie. You show exactly what a piece of shit I am, and I laugh. This is good. This is time. This is special time together.
And it's going to make you feel so much better. Not everyone's going to like it, but a lot of times people already know the answer. Especially when it comes to something like this, and when you come out with something like, oh no, that wasn't really me though.
Yeah, it was somebody
You
in a
know,
fucking suit.
yeah, or whatever, or the reason why I went there isn't exactly the reason why I went there. It was so clear, cut and dry. And when you start suing people like NBC, and you're going after Chris Hansen, and you're going after Perverted Justice, and you're going after, you're talking shit about the judge and the prosecutors and all that kind of stuff. It's just a mess. You end up looking really fucking stupid.
I know. Well, something's really irritating me about that whole thing, though. Maybe that's another reason why I was getting so defensive. Because when you only see a lawyer 2 times and it's to plead guilty or not guilty, then guilty, it kind of presses on a person.
Huh?
Well, what would have happened if you pled not guilty? You would have gone to trial.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think would have happened?
And that would have made my fucking year. If we could have heard his actual trial with him talking about fucking mac and cheese and how he didn't want to go there, honestly, I think that's all I'd ever listen to my whole life.
At trial.
That's why I didn't. That's why I didn't want to go to trial, because I got scared saying that, like, maybe 11 out of 100 people usually win at trial in a federal trial. And it's like, well, that's kind of fucked up if it's supposed to be an honest justice system.
No, because most people that go to trial are fucking guilty. That's the way it works. Prosecutors and police make sure they've got enough evidence and that they've got the right person. Obviously, sometimes that doesn't happen, but the majority of the time, there's not some fucking wild conspiracy here. You're a criminal, you go to trial, you get found guilty. That's pretty much how it works. Like, this is basic shit even for you, dickhead.
Well, they have to look at what the facts are.
Yeah, I know.
If you have a video of someone go,
and you didn't. It wasn't because you looked at the odds and you thought, "Oh fuck, the justice system's stacked against me." It's because they made a deal with you that they wouldn't pursue you for trying to make child pornography, which you were going to, and they had enough evidence to prove that if you took the deal. So, wrong again.
Going in and robbing a store, and they get away, and then they go to their attorney and say, I want to plead not guilty. What are they supposed to do? What defense do you have?
Yeah, I know.
Okay. So as far as what you're concerned with, you're basically saying that you went to your attorney, said that you were going to plead not guilty. Then you met with him again, and they said you're going to plead guilty.
Wow, he told me to plead not guilty the first time.
Okay.
And so I pled not. But see, then there was my other attorney, my state attorney. He wanted to take it to trial.
But why?
And that's why I started looking so deep into it.
But what kind of defense did you have?
He told me he could have gotten it for entrapment. And that's why I started looking at that.
Either you're lying or that attorney is fucking dumber than you.
No.
I'm going to say you're lying.
That's not true. I mean, okay, so here's the other thing about entrapment. Like, I can give you an example, too, of when I was talking about when the police department sets up a bait car. So if they have this bait car sitting out there, and then right before they leave, they throw a bag of Coke underneath the seat, so that when the person gets caught, whoever stole it is now going to have a drug charge.
Right.
Okay, so that's a problem, right? So you can see how there's a problem with them.
Yeah, okay, so Shins Koala is saying always plead not guilty at arraignment. So probably what Lorne is referring to, if there is any truth to this, that his lawyers has said, look, we're going to plead not guilty here, and then we work it out from there. I mean, I'm no lawyer, but that makes sense what you're saying, Shins.
Stealing the car, but then tacking on a drug charge when that's not what the whole point was. It's not theirs. It legitimately isn't. The police put it there. That's what I would see as being an entrapment to get a drug charge. So I would love to know what your thinking entrapment is in terms of you.
Well, it's not me that was thinking it at the time. It was my lawyer.
Well, you must have loved
It was my
hearing
state
that,
lawyer.
though.
Huh?
You must have
Well,
loved hearing that.
I did love it at the time. And actually, the deeper that I got into it, and the more I looked at it, there was a lot of things that was actually illegal that they did.
Like what?
Such as?
And well, like I can't name them right off the bat. If I go through my paperwork, when you come up here sometime, if you want to see and go through my paperwork and look at everything that I've got.
That's the best that he's got, like, to lure her there. So she'll come up there so he can see this massive cache of fucking evidence that he has against the court.
Then you'll see a bunch of stuff. If I can find it, then I'll read it off to you.
But you'll only get 5 minutes to look at the evidence, and then your clothes are coming off.
But I've got like a whole crap load of stuff that they did that was illegal.
Well, I mean,
Trying hard to remember some stuff.
I mean, if
there
was a bunch of stuff that they did.
And Winnie's boyfriend/husband, of course we have lawyers here. Yes, they're kangaroo courts, but the judge is the kangaroo. You still need lawyers to talk to the kangaroo judge. Fucking hell, you guys are ignorant.
Then
I should be able to pop it off my head, but the problem is I've got so much stuff in my head about the whole thing that I can't remember specific things.
Okay. Well,
I'm going to my box right now.
Okay, well, why you do that? I mean, the point is that, you know, the people who were innocent, like the other guys in the chat room who didn't talk to this girl, they don't have to worry about entrapment. They're not the ones who got in trouble. Yeah. So if there was something illegal going on, they would also get in trouble. But they didn't.
I know. It's basically just stupid that I went there anyway. It was a bad decision on my part. It was stupid for me to do it. It's my fault that I did it because nobody else brought me there. I've got a big box of papers here. I'm not going to find it right now.
I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do.
I do. I'll take a picture of it for you.
Okay.
When I find it, I'll take a picture of the thing.
It's not going to matter, really.
But you asked me, so
well, I know, I understand, and I would love to, you know, hear what it is that you think that trumps whatever it is that you did.
Jeez, that was just remember that. There was one big one that I found. I really still can remember what it was.
I mean, basically, are you looking for a technicality?
No, because it was. What the hell was it that I found? Oh crap! It keeps coming back to me, but then I can't remember all the words. Okay. Any person that induces, entices, persuades.
Oh, I fucking love this. And g'day Schmuckamuck and someone else. There was someone else there.
Or there's one other word that I can't remember. Any person that induces, entices, persuades any individual in the United States, property or territory, to commit a sexual act or something like that. To commit a sexual act, it's a criminal act, and they get X amount of. They either get a fine or an imprisonment, a fine or imprisonment, or a fine and imprisonment.
Okay, so give me an example. Give me an example of that. How did they do that?
And I'm so glad Debbie asked this question because I just love how he goes into this fucking induce and dissuade and all this kind of stuff. Like, I'm so glad this wasn't glossed over.
They induce or entice. They might not have induced, but they did entice.
How?
Yeah. So how did they entice you? What, by putting a 13-year-old there? That was so enticing for you that you couldn't say no. Let's continue this exoneration process, shall we?
They didn't dissuade.
They didn't dissuade.
Yeah, they didn't dissuade anybody from doing anything. They encouraged them. Maybe that's what the other word was. Encourage, induce, entice, and persuade.
Yeah, but all the stuff that was said in there was said by you.
Right.
Right.
I would love if he was asked to give the definition of this, Wade.
I'm not saying I weren't wrong. I'm just saying what I found.
Well, it's kind of like this.
You asked
Okay,
me, so I'm just telling you.
Well, I know, but and hopefully, if your state attorney ever brought that to trial, it would be shut down immediately.
Well, actually, that was a federal law that I found that under. I think.
Okay, well then your other attorney, if they decided to bring that to trial and bring it in front of court, hopefully that would be shut down immediately.
Well, it should be anyway because I'm the one that said all that stuff, and I'm the one that went there.
Right.
And g'day, Natty J. And I just love that he hangs on this Wade thing. Like, now, this is assuming that Lorne actually understands the meaning of that word, which is a big assumption, I'll admit. But what does he think that they were meant to do? Like, what does he think they did that was illegal? Like, they were meant to, while he was in the middle of doing all this, they were meant to jump in and say, "Hey, Lorne, just so you know, this is actually a sting operation. We're trying to catch you. So if you go any further, be fully aware that this is not a real kid, and there'll be police and cameras waiting for you when you show up to try to fuck this imaginary child."
Right. Yeah.
So I do take responsibility for what I did because I should have been incarcerated.
Yes.
Should have been put on NBC.
Yes.
That I disagree with.
Yes.
That I
Yes.
That I disagree
Absolutely.
with. I'm going to tell you the reason that I disagree with that.
I would love to hear it.
Because the only other thing that I've ever done wrong in my life was no UI.
So?
What does that matter?
So if they're going to put somebody on TV that does something like this, it should be somebody that is...
Someone who's a child predator.
I'm frustrated with it because I'm mad about being on TV.
I know you are. It's highly embarrassing. Everyone
It is.
who's involved in some kind of a crime, no matter what it is, doesn't want to be called out for it. They don't want people to know. It's it's the same thing like if people who get in trouble in their hometown and their names are put in the paper. And there's a lot of people who just go right there. I know I've done it. Go right to the police blotter who got busted, last weekend. And then you see people that you're like, oh, look at that bastard. I knew he was up to some shit.
Look at that dumbass.
Yeah. And so, nobody ever wants to do that. But you deserved to be there. You deserved to be on NBC for everyone to see.
To be nationwide, worldwide. Why not be worldwide?
Yes. It's a huge problem, Lorne. They had to see all the different people that were involved in this. They had people who were going to college. They had teachers. They had
lawyers. They had cops.
Sure, they had all kinds of people.
And by the way, Mike Patterson, he was not a cop. I knew Mike Patterson when he was incarcerated.
Oh.
He was not a cop.
I'm not really sure who that is.
He's the one. He's the one that screamed like a girl when they tased him.
Oh yeah, I remember him. Okay. Okay.
He just gotten his private investigator license.
Oh.
He was not a cop. I don't know. Okay. From what people told me, he told them that he was a cop, and I don't know why the hell he said that. Because he told me he wasn't a cop. He was a private investigator.
Who knows? I'm not really sure. But the point is that there's all kinds of people that you wouldn't know.
Yeah, married people.
Married people
that have kids.
Yeah, people who have kids as well, grandparents. People that are trusted by their families. I mean, that's what the problem is that there are double lives going on, and somebody was getting hurt in the process.
I'm going to be, as much as I hate it and hate the thought that I was involved in it, it was really probably the best thing that could have happened to me at the time, because not only would have saved lives, but it probably also saved my life.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause I was in such a downhill spiral so fast that I weren't paying attention to anything I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, Lorne. Sure, mate. And g'day, Juniper.
I mean, and I can guarantee you that if Kayla was real and you went and had sex with her, there was going to be another one too.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
Yes, Tiffany, that's actually this call. Probably about half an hour back, not long before you came in, he talked about how it was, so fucked up what Xavier von Erck made them do to him, and how that I was actually talking to well, they were pretending it was Casey, but they photoshopped her body, her face onto Winnie's body and all this kind of shit, and Debbie's just sitting there going, oh yeah, really? It was so fucking funny, just so ignorant to the fact that he's talking to the same person.
Because I would have gotten away with it once.
Right.
Sad as it is for me to say it.
But it's the truth.
It's the truth. At the time, it would have been the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was so far gone, in everything that I was doing.
Well, even the fantasy was there before you were so far gone. You know what I mean? Like that started way before.
Yeah. I remember we talked about that. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean.
And that sucks.
We'll talk about that more too soon, Lorne.
That sucks so
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah, it does. I mean, because you can't control what your fantasy is. It's just something that turned you on. You can't control that part.
And that sucked.
Yeah.
I hated that.
It's the engaging in it that becomes the problem. Even when it comes to people who have child pornography, they think, okay, well, I'm not going.
Yeah, Pee-wee is great. That is still one of my favourite things to listen to, is where Debbie first starts talking to Lorne, and he's pretty much got it. He's like, I've talked to you before, I know I've talked to you, but it just takes a couple of minutes of Tiffany saying, no, you haven't. I've never talked to you. I don't fucking idea what you're talking about, and then he just accepts it.
I'm going to have sex with the kids, but I'm going to look at pornography that features kids. That's a problem because a kid is getting hurt there.
I know they're a victim. Somebody had to hurt that kid in order to get that picture.
Absolutely.
Then they put it on the internet, and it's all around the world, and it never goes off the internet.
Yeah.
It's
really right. It's a disgusting thing.
And that's what I was telling you about that picture. Seeing that picture that was sent to me, it bothered me a lot. And I deleted it as soon as I saw it. And I didn't know it doesn't go off the computer. I mean, tell me about that, but
well, you're lucky.
Okay, I don't. There is something bullshit about this here, because you can't really ever delete anything from a computer. So unless he smashed his hard drive, if he did have that on his computer, I'm sure they would have found it when they, confiscated his computer and went through it. But his whole story about, someone sent me child porn, and eventually he goes on to say he thinks it was perverted justice. Like, people don't send people CSAM. Like, people don't send that to people because it's pretty fucking dangerous, because you don't know the person you're sending it to. You could be sending it to a cop. That kind of stuff is traded, or at least, talk to about. Like, he would have had to have asked someone for that. People just don't go around in chat rooms, like country music chat rooms, going, here, have some CSAM. CSAM for you, CSAM for you. Hey, did you get any, mate? Here, have some. Like, he is lying about something there, and I don't know if it is that this never happened at all, and he's just trying to tell the story to try to say Perverted Justice are terrible people. But if he received that, he received it because he wanted to. And then this whole, it disgusted me. So it disgusted him, but then he just went straight back to grooming the child he'd been talking to for weeks. It's something is fucking bullshit.
They didn't find it. Did they find it?
I don't know. They've got my computer. They must have gone through my computer.
Well, they would have done it already.
Oh, they must have found it then, because
Well, they
Nothing.
probably didn't. Most likely, they probably didn't find it for whatever reason. I have no idea. But I mean,
But I received it from someone. I didn't distribute it.
well, that's good. It's good that you didn't send it to anyone else.
Did they really, Shin? So they actually did find it. I'd missed that. So okay, well there you go. But as I was saying, I've never heard of anything where people were just sending it out to everyone. So he's more depraved than he's trying to make out in the fact that he's actively looking for that stuff.
I was pretty disgusted by it. And
G'day, Moton
I
G.
turned around,
And
Thanks
then
for
you
being
kept
here.
going with Kayla.
Yeah.
And I think you
bothers
even
me.
said that you wanted to take pictures with Kayla.
Yeah, I think I did too.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I don't remember if I meant naked. I don't know. I probably did. I wouldn't doubt it.
I think that you did. I know that you did.
I know I hated being that far gone. I hated myself then.
That far gone. Fuck off.
I hated what I did to Betty. That was one of the biggest things that was bothering me when I left. I didn't know what to do. I was so fucking messed up. It was unbelievable. That's why when I talk about my family and what my family did to me, that's what messed me up, because I thought the world of my family. And all I cared about was helping them. And the stuff that they did to me hurt me.
I understand. I'm sure that it did. And
The saddest thing is that Tony was the only one that apologized to me.
They're just separate things, you know. They're separate things. And
Yeah,
when
no. I turned around and hurt somebody else even worse.
yeah. You know, that makes me sad. And I'm glad that you were honest about it. But it makes me sad. I guess I was really hoping that you were going to feel sad about what you were actually doing to Kayla before you showed up at the house.
Well,
G'day, Joe Reviews. Glad you could make your first live. Thanks for being here. And g'day, Bot.
I did everything wrong to her.
Well, I know that you did, but you
Read the
said
chat
that
log.
I know.
Have a good one, Tiffany. Thanks very much for being here. I always appreciate it. And I'll chuck another shrimp on the barbie just for you.
Oh. But what you said was that you got mad at yourself when Chris Hansen came out.
Well, I did, because I never want to be a person to do something like that.
Right. You didn't want to be, because you know what that means. You know what it means to be a predator who goes after a kid. What everyone else is going to think about that.
Yeah.
But that wasn't, the deterrent wasn't, I don't want to hurt a kid. That's the part that makes me sad.
Because I was so selfish and thoughtless and heartless at the time that I wasn't thinking about anybody, including myself. I wasn't thinking about me.
Well, no, you were thinking about you were thinking about yourself.
Well,
Hey, thanks for explaining all that about how it used his offence. That I find this always very, very interesting when you talk about this, Shin, with your background. I'd love to do a stream one day where with you talking about all the legalities of this, because I find it really interesting. Like, I've always been really into true crime, so because of that, I've kind of have a real big interest in the legal aspect, but I don't understand enough of it.
I couldn't have been thinking about myself too much. I wasn't thinking about my future, what it was going to do to me.
Yeah, but you didn't think that you were going to get caught.
Else. Yeah, so I was being selfish.
Yeah. So you were only thinking about yourself and your dick.
Yeah.
You weren't thinking about the fact that you were damaging Kayla.
You know, that bothers me a lot too. That really bothers me so much of how I cannot think about a kid when I knew what happened to me when I was a kid.
Oh, fuck off.
And how it affected my whole life.
Moton G, there is nothing I have heard about him currently being catfished, but I honestly wouldn't be surprised. I fail to believe that the most recent catfishing, the Jamie Amy stuff, will be the last, because this guy will keep taking the bait because he's got nothing else. So being catfished and being embarrassed like he is better than the crippling loneliness that he deals with. So, and obviously we don't find out until way down the track, because Lorne can access the internet, even though he's not allowed to. He still has ways, and he still has people that goes on for him. So it'll all get, if there is there, it'll get released when it's kind of all over. But I can't believe there'd be much after he went back and talked to Ramona, after she completely, pointed out that he was being catfished. The fact, once he went back to her, I'm like, this guy it'll never be enough for him.
Boy, I really one of the reasons I really get confused sometimes about, how could I possibly have done that? It's so out of my character and really sucks. I bet you didn't hear a word I said, did you?
I didn't. I'm so sorry.
All right.
Yeah.
I heard a I was like,
yeah.
What the hell is that noise?
No, it was just
What
my
kind of
phone.
dog? What kind of dog do you have?
A Chihuahua.
A little ankle biter.
Yeah. Yeah, he's getting hungry, so I'm gonna have to go soon. Make him
I
some
already
dinner.
fed my dogs.
Yeah.
See, if you had a headset, you could put your phone down and walk around and do things too.
Yeah, I know. Right, but I'm still not getting that, so it's not gonna happen.
mine only cost me $80.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. Nikki.
It's so weird too, where he's like, get a. He constantly tries to make her get a headset. I mean, what the fuck does it matter to you? I guess he probably wants it so that it's like he thinks that that's the only thing stopping them spending more time together. It's like, if she had a headset, she'd be able to go about her life and talk to me all the time. Like, that's the only thing stopping it, not, actually having a life or her immense disgust for him.
So
Mickey.
yeah, his name is Mickey.
His?
Yeah.
So Nicholas.
G'day, Donde Leader.
Yeah.
And Tracy Hamill. Hello.
Nikki is a girl.
Yeah, I know. I call him Nikki. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, I can't really switch that around with your name because your name is Debbie.
Right.
Deborah. So,
Right.
so I can't really say any guy's name that would be similar.
Right.
Winnie's boyfriend/husband says, Tiffany said the dog's real name is Mickey, but Lorne heard Nikki and she went with it. I feel he's jealous that it's a boy dog. Could be. Personally, I don't think it's about the fact that it's a boy dog. I think that he heard Nikki and he fucking hates Nikki, that fucking bitch. So he wouldn't want her dog to be called that. Like it's end of his fucking business, or like that's anything. But the same reason that when Casey became Wendy, they had to change her name, like literally had to change the way she referred to herself because he fucking hates Wendy, and I don't want you called Wendy. Like, this is how much of a piece of shit, ignorant cunt this guy is.
So I gotta go feed him.
Okay.
He's getting hungry.
Do you want me to text them and ask her to send you that video?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, because I'd like for you to be able to look at it.
Okay, cool.
And Shin's 100%, I agree with that. Shin says, like to hear Catfish as a normal person without crazy scenarios, just living life and straightening him out and calling him on his shit and reacting as anyone would. I would love to hear that too. Like, as much as I have enjoyed all these ones with the crazy scenarios, because I think in their own way they add to it, I think another beneficial thing to hear is how he would react to just a normal person, just someone that, they talk about normal shit, but, they hold him to account in that, because I think sometimes maybe how fanciful it all is, he hides behind that in some ways.
All right.
And we can talk about it some more.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna go. Okay, bye.
All right. Bye.
All right, and I think that's a good place to leave this off. So that call's ended there. It's a nice clean way to kind of end this one. Like I said, there's a whole series of these calls, and we will do them all. I don't know if I'm going to do them consecutively. I think I might kind of mix it up a little bit because it's all a bit much. But this has been really fun. I've really enjoyed this, and I hope you guys have as well. Let me just put that stream image back up. And so yeah, so we'll just do them when they come. There might be just some other standard Lorne in there, maybe some TCAP stuff to break it up. But yeah, we'll see how we go. So thank you all very much for being here. This has been a lot of fun, as it always is. And I hope everyone is having a fantastic Valentine's Day. So I'll see you again shortly. I'll be streaming again sometime later this week. And until then, delete your archives, guys.